Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Martin Sanders, this is The Final Word, and yes, this is the Football Martin channel. More about that very shortly, but thank you very much for tuning in. It's great to have you here with us. We're going to break down the weekend's game at Anfield for Southampton. We'll take a look across the Premier League at the other results, and we'll look at where the Premier League table is at the end of this game week. But before we do get into this show, I want to shout out you guys. Thank you to every single one of you for supporting me, watching the channel, commenting and sharing it. It means the absolute world to me, so thank you very, very much. And if you have a brand or a business and you want to put it in front of 100,000 new people a month, please do get in touch. This channel is building some really good momentum and it's open now for sponsorship. There are sponsorship opportunities available. Whether you have a local brand or a global brand, please do get in touch and drop me a DM. Right, Anfield at the weekend. I took the trip to Anfield, thoroughly enjoyed it. What a great place to go and watch football, by the way. I've always wanted to go to Anfield. There's lots of grounds on my hit list at the moment. Anfield was one of those, and I'm really pleased I went. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good day out. The ground, clean, tidy, everything that you expect it to be, and a lot more actually. It was brilliant. Loads of fans from all over the world, like Liverpool fans. It's quite amazing. You go to these bigger clubs, and it's not like going to a game at Southampton where it's all like predominantly local people. You go there and it's just like loads of people from all over the world, loads of nationalities. It's really vibrant. It was a really vibrant atmosphere there, and I'm glad I took the trip. And to be fair, that first 45 minutes from Saints was really good. We've never put together a 90 minutes, have we, all season? I've put a few notes down actually, and one of those on my notes was we've not put together a 90 minutes all season long, in my opinion. And it's quite disappointing that we haven't been able to do that, but we are playing against one of the best teams in Europe, the team that will go on and inevitably win the Premier League this season. They will do. They will go on and win the Premier League. The league, we'll talk about the league in a bit more detail in a minute, but they're running away with it. They've been running away with it for weeks. I've got a few of the statistics that have popped up on your screen as well, but I like the lineup a lot more. Going back with a back four. Why has none of our managers done this? Martin didn't do it at all, and Juric has not done it till now. We played a back four for the majority of our season last season in the Championship. We played a back four pretty much all the way through to the playoffs, but to the final. There was a couple of games, maybe at West Brom away last year we played it, but why is it taking that? I just don't get it. We were so comfortable in a four at the back with the two banks of three in front of it. It always worked really well for us. And why it took Juric that long to come up to revert back, I really don't know. But I did like the look of it. If you want the player ratings, I'm doing a separate video for members only. That's going out today as well. So if you do want the player ratings, you can get that if you're a member. But I've broken down each player individually. But the back four of Manning, Walker-Peters, Harwood-Bellis and Bednarek I liked. I thought Harwood-Bellis had a good first half actually. I said that in my post-match instant reaction video. I thought he had a fairly good game. Second half, he kicked the ball out way too much. Bednarek got that head injury, had to go off for Bella Kopchak, who come on and done all right. Manning was superb first half up against Mo Salah. He had a really, really good game. Salah didn't do anything other than score the two penalties, by the way. I didn't think Liverpool were actually that impressive. I'll talk more about that in a minute. The midfield, Ugochukwu and Smallbone. Surprised to see Smallbone start, certainly over Joe Aribo, who I thought has been... Though he's been playing centre-back, he's not centre-back. He's got loads of energy. I thought Aribo would have played in there. I still quite like to see Ugochukwu, Aribo and Downs, personally. I quite like to see like a double pivot almost and really protect our back four. But he won't do that. This manager won't do that. Dibbling plays wide out on the right. Silamana much better wide on the left. He's much better there. Grombeck plays in the false nine. Worked really hard, I thought, Grombeck, with Fernandez in behind him and in that midfield. Look, we're not... At least we didn't we go man to man on everyone because we've been going man to man on everyone. We didn't do that as much Saturday, and it was much better not playing that way. We played with quite a bit of freedom in the first half. There was a real freedom to the way we played and the way we moved the ball, and we were quite confident at times. Seeing that we've only won 2 games all season, we were actually fairly decent. We didn't have loads of possession first half. We only had 25% possession, but we had 4 goal attempts in the first half, which was... I don't think any of us thought we'd get anywhere near their 18-yard box, let alone get goal attempts. And when Smallbones scored just before half-time, Yeah, I thought it was coming. I thought potentially because we'd had chances, we'd had a few. I think Grombeck had a little bit of play on the edge of the box and just wanted to get a shot off. He didn't. There was a header from Harwood Bellis not long before, and look, we probably deserved the lead at that stage. I didn't think Liverpool started the game very well at all. They didn't start the game very well. Second half, they were going to come out angry. I said that in the match vlog. They come out angry, and they were always going to come out angry. And you look at their expected goals, 4.1. It's all on your screen. Ball possession for the whole game, 71%. 28 goal attempts compared to our 6. They had a lot of goal attempts second half. They just really took over the game, sort of like went through the gears. First half, they didn't get out of second gear, really. I didn't think they did. But as the game progressed, they sort of started to really sort of knock it up a gear or two. Then you look at the other statistic, goalkeeper saves. Ramsdale's only had to make 4 saves. Becker's had to make 3. But to be fair, Ramsdale I don't think he had a lot to do other than pick the ball out the net from the penalties. He didn't have loads to do, Ramsdale, at all. But all in all, Liverpool were always going to be the stronger. They're always going to be the stronger the two teams. We all knew that. We all knew that. It was obvious. It was top v bottom, huge golfing class. But Saints, if they play like they did the first half, for the remainder of the season, we will somewhere get a result. We will do, because if you play like that against Wolves, we'll give ourselves a really, really big chance in getting something. There's no doubt about that. And the same against Leicester away. We will pick up a result, or we'll pick up a draw. We will start to pick up the odd points. But Smallbone, going back to him, getting the goal, scapegoat for a lot of people, this bloke, by the way. Adam Blackmore said it, going home with Adam and Joe. I listened to that this morning, actually, Monday morning. And he's spot on, actually. He's been scapegoat for quite a lot. And he actually played quite well. I know there was the penalty. We need to talk about the decisions in the second half. And you talk about that he gave away the penalty. It was well soft. He's literally thrown himself on the deck, Darwin Núñez, big time. Literally threw himself down. I've watched it back several times. What was he doing? But he could potentially been sent off, to be honest, though he kicked out at Kyle Walker-Peters when Kyle Walker-Peters made that run and he done him and he kicked out at him, and there was no need for that. There was no need for that whatsoever. I thought it was really bang out of order. But he's not a very nice player, is he, Darwin Núñez? I don't particularly like him. But when the fans can't keep singing, "You're a shit Andy Carroll," he's always going to score against you. So just don't sing it. We did it at St Mary's and he scored against us in the Cup. Just annoys me when you sing that song. I'll tell you what was a big notice at the weekend. The amount of Liverpool fans in the away end. Wow. So many Liverpool fans in our end. I couldn't believe it. There must have been 4 or 5 kicked out, and there was 2 behind me when I was filming it at the end, and they were both Liverpool fans as well because he had Liverpool tracksuit bottoms on. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely couldn't believe it. Ridiculous, really. It's not good, is it? I don't think it's good at all. And how's that happening in the first place? But we were 55% better than we have been in any other game recently under Juric. Because most games are just dogged, aren't they? Somebody, was it maybe going home, Adam and Joe said? It was turgid, I think. Joe Tesson described games under Juric. At least with Martin, there was a little bit of flair and a little bit of excitement. But yeah, I thought it was pretty turgid under him so far. And to be fair, a lot of the second half was become a bit of a nothing second half. The game ran away after that. Obviously, Núñez scores, then gets the penalty. Salah then goes on and scores that one. The second one, Yuki Sugawara comes on. A lot of people give me a bit of stick for giving it, giving Sugawara a lot of stick. But how many times does he handball it? And when you're being branded and named in the same sentence as Lee Todd, you know you're bad. He may get better in the Championship. He may get more time on the ball. He may get some confidence to become a better player. But at this moment in time, Sugawara is really struggling. Whether that's a confidence thing or he's just not a very good player, I don't know. Maybe it's the latter. Maybe it is the latter, that he's not a very good player. That handball, he just didn't need to make it. And he's never getting away with it. How does he think he's going to get away with that, by the way, with the amount of cameras? It's absolutely ridiculous. Ryan Manning, massive shout out to him. I'm going to put a few players forward on my page and you can go and vote in the poll for man of the match from the weekend, and I want to put him forward, Ryan Manning, because I thought he had a good game. So Ryan Manning's in there. I'm also going to pop in there, for the man of the match, player of the match, Ryan Manning is definitely one of those. Harwood Bellis did all right first half. I said he kicked out a lot second half, so got to put him in that selection. Mateus Fernandes was busy, ran around a lot, works really, really hard. I thought he had another solid game. Really chucks a challenge in as well. Definitely got to put him in there as well. I'm not going to put Walker Peters in there. I thought he'd done a lot better the weekend. I thought he had a far, far better game. But those three for me are like to choose your player of the match from. I throw Silamana actually in there as well because Silamana showed glimpses. I think he's definitely far better off that far right-hand side. I want to touch upon, before I wrap up on Liverpool, I want to touch upon Tyler Dibbling and the abuse he's receiving, certainly in the ground. Whether his head's been turned because he's got clubs wanting him or he just doesn't get on with the manager, there's something not right there and he doesn't look the player he did. And it's sad to see. Maybe he's playing out of position, but I watched the manager having a go at him quite a bit the weekend, and he was having a go at him quite a bit. And then you got the fans saying, this Tyler, that Tyler. He's one of our own, no matter what anyone says. And if he's not doing it on the field, the manager won't pick him. Simples. But he doesn't look like the Tyler that we knew for some reason. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see because he was so good. We spoke about him a lot on this show. He's linked with so many different clubs at the moment. Maybe he's had his head turned. Maybe his agent's in his ear. But dear me, I don't like it when the fans are swearing about him. I just hate it. There's a lot of hate towards players. I don't like. It's horrible to hear hate towards him. It really is. Really is. That wraps up. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. The big game coming up at the weekend against Wolves. Play like we did in the first half and try and do that for a whole game. We'll get something against Wolves. We'll give ourselves a chance to get something against Wolves. But can we beat Derby's points tally record? Give me your thoughts. Because I see 2 games to get these results in. When you look at the fixtures, Wolves is definitely a game you target. Leicester away in about a month's time is another one to target. So there are some games to get it. But if we don't get a result of the weekend against Wolves, but for me, the important thing against Wolves, he doesn't set up with that same system. I don't think he can do it at home. It will be boring. It will make a rubbish game of it. Glenda the Core said it on Total Saints last night on TSB. I totally agree with him. You cannot set up with such a defensive-minded lineup at home in a game that you can win. You have to play a striker, whether that's Cam Archer or Paul Onuachu. You have to play a striker in this. I'll be furious if he doesn't play a striker at the weekend and sets up the same. I think we have to be a bit more expansive against Wolves. I know we risk a little bit more in losing the game, but we have to try and win this game. The fans deserve a win this weekend. They really, really, really deserve a win. And hopefully, Juric doesn't start with the same 11, but I'll bet you anything he does. And he will suck the life out of me if he does that. I'll be furious. Right, rest of the Premier League this weekend. What result for Nottingham Forest? Massive shout out to them. Their 1-0 victory over Man City. I haven't seen the whole game. I've watched the highlights back today. Hudson-Odoi with a goal. He pulled a really good save from Ederson not long before that as well. But he's one of my favourite players in the league at the moment, Hudson-Odoi. Really good result for them. We'll look at the league table in a minute, but they've really put themselves in the frame for a Champions League spot. Great result for them. Brighton beat Fulham for the first time in the Premier League, I believe. 2-1 victory. Late penalty for João Pedro there. Crystal Palace, they beat Ipswich Town. That's pretty much put Ipswich down. I think they're done now, Ipswich, in my opinion. Obviously, we know the Liverpool Southampton score. Brentford, Aston Villa. I chatted to a friend of mine today. He'd be watching this. He watched it and said to me it was a little bit of a scrappy game. Brentford had not played for a couple of weeks. I missed this one. But Aston Villa, another win for them, pushing towards those Champions League spots as well. And Ollie Watkins with another goal for them. Looking forward to seeing Villa, a side that I've not seen this season, in a couple of weeks' time. Wolves, who we play at the weekend, drew 1-1 with Everton. Cunha's out, suspended at this moment in time as well, so their best player is missing. Then the Sunday football. Watched a little bit of football yesterday. Didn't see the Chelsea-Leicester game. But yeah, 1-0 there. I thought that Chelsea would have absolutely bashed Leicester, but I don't think Leicester played particularly well. Looking at the statistics, weren't great. Saw a bit of Tottenham-Bournemouth. I thought it was a really good, really, really good game. 2-2 in that one. Really good game. Bournemouth play some great football, don't they? What a side to watch they are. And in Man United-Arsenal game was just a ball fest. I thought I really didn't enjoy it. And touching upon the Championship, I did watch a little bit of Portsmouth-Leeds yesterday. Portsmouth won 1-0 against Leeds. Gutted about. Leeds missed some really, really big chances, but the difference in the standard is unbelievable. The speed of that league compared to the Premier League is like, I've hardly watched the Championship this season. I can't believe how slow it is compared to the Prem. And Portsmouth, they're not a very good side, but they just dig in. They dig in for each other and they make it hard at home. They'll stay up now and there'll be a derby next year. There will be a derby. It's been coming. I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm going to embrace it, and it will be tough. They're like cup finals. The final game of the weekend, Premier League game, is tonight. Is the game between West Ham United and Newcastle United. Newcastle United with the Carabao Cup final at the weekend. Looking forward to that. Russell Martin on Monday Night Football. I'm recording this at 5:45 Monday night, so I'm going to go and watch that at 6:30 onwards. This probably be out just after that's started. So if you've got Sky Plus, you might want to catch up on that, because I think it will be really interesting. Actually, it will be really, really interesting. It'd be good to see what he's got to say. Don't expect him to give too much away. Right, finally, let's have a look at the Premier League table. How does that leave things? Saints still with a measly single digit, 9 points going into the first international break of 2025. It is utterly embarrassing. 28 games played, just 9 points on the board. Can we find double digits by the end of next weekend? I really, really hope so. Leicester City with 17 points. They're done by the looks of it. Ipswich Town have the same. Most boring league ever this year, isn't it? They got the 17 points from the 28 games as well. And Wolverhampton Wanderers got a lovely cushion, 23 points. They're the only side that are really in it, because you'd say already West Ham in 16th are already safe with 33 points. You're only looking at who's going to get in the top 4, really, aren't you? What's up for grabs? Liverpool going to win the league, got 70 points. Literally 15 points ahead of Arsenal. It's game over at the top end, isn't it? Nottingham Forest, look at that. Third place, 51 points. What a season they are having. Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, they're back in Champions League spots. They got 49 points in the 28 games. Man City, not far behind. They're in 5th place as well. Brighton and Hove Albion pushing, Villa pushing, and Bournemouth and Newcastle. I think it'll all be about who can get those European spots and whether somebody can break in and get a Champions League spot. It will be really interesting there, but the rest of it, there's going to be loads of dead rubbers. Loads of dead rubbers. If Saints go and lose to Wolves at the weekend, the dead rubbers that will be coming our way will be absolutely horrific between now and the end of the season. Just 10 game weeks left, and they're pretty much all on weekends. So 10 weekends, and this torturous season will come to an end. One thing I'd like to do before the show ends is thank all my members of the Football Martin channel, and I've had some new ones in the last couple of weeks, and a part of it is giving you a shout out. So a massive shout out to Jeffrey Bennett, Simon Austin, the bearded UFO guy. He always comments on my videos. Thank you very much, mate. Phil Oz. We also have Phil Osgood, Anthony Dawson, Tetonator, David Bunny, and Stuart Ickenhead as well, who have all joined the chapel tier. Means an absolute world to me, so thank you very much. Proper shout out to every single one of you for supporting the channel, and make sure you go check out the player ratings video from the weekend as well. Loads of great content coming your way this week. Building up to Wolves, we're going to have though it's a preview, we're going to take a deeper dive into Wolves later on this week with Dave from a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan channel. I'm also going to sit down with my dad this week as well and have a little chat with him. We're going to talk about his memories of supporting Southampton, where it all started. Bit of a feature coming up on the channel at the weekend. Stay tuned for that. And a little one I wanted to address. This was an interesting one. I saw a comment. I should never ever let comments play on my mind a little bit. Do you know what? So I just thought, do you know what? Let's put the comment on the video. I'm sure he won't mind me reading it out, because it's there for everybody to see. An interesting one, this one and this one. Very, very interesting one. Enjoy your channel and your content. Although sometimes we have different opinions. Of course we do. We all do. My only comment would be that the channel name is a bit odd. Like you've named it when you were younger. Interesting one. I'm Martin. I love football. Football Martin rings quite nice. I quite liked it. Somebody else suggested it actually before I set the channel. I thought it was actually quite a cool name. Better than Martin Talks Football, or I just thought it was cool. I thought it was actually quite cool. It's a bit of a brand now as well, actually. But I love it. Give me your thoughts on it. Is my channel name all wrong? Get involved in the comments box below. Thank you all very much for tuning in to the final word this Monday on the Football Martin channel. I'll see you again very, very soon in another show here on the channel.